The Space Station, Living in a Space Station Part 1. There was a young astronaut named Alex. Alex always dreamed of going to space. Since he was a child, he would look up at the stars and wonder what it was like to live among them. After many years of hard work, his dream came true. Alex was chosen to live and work on a space station called Starbase Alpha. The space station was huge. It floated quietly above Earth, far from the ground. It was made of shiny metal and had long arms that looked like wings. From the windows, Alex could see the blue planet below. The view was breathtaking. Every day, he saw the sun rise and set many times because the space station moved so fast around the Earth. Alex's job was to take care of the space station and do experiments. He worked with other astronauts from different countries. There was Emma from the United States, Hiro from Japan, and Nadia from Russia. They all lived together in the space station, and it felt like they were a big family. Living in space was very different from living on Earth. In space, there was no gravity. That meant everything floated, including Alex. When he wanted to move from one room to another, he didn't walk, he floated. He would push himself off a wall, and then he would glide through the air like a bird. It was fun, but sometimes it was also difficult. If he didn't push himself in the right direction, he might bump into a wall or spin around in circles. Every day, Alex followed a routine. In the morning, he floated to the kitchen to eat breakfast. But eating in space was strange. The food came in small packets, and some of it was in the form of paste or dried pieces. To drink water, he had to squeeze it from a bag, and the water would form little floating balls. He had to catch the water with his mouth, or it would drift away. It was fun, but it took some practice. After breakfast, Alex put on his work suit and got ready for the day's tasks. One of his jobs was to check the space station's systems. He would use his computer to make sure everything was working well. If something broke, he would have to fix it right away. In space, even a small problem could be dangerous. The space station also had a laboratory. This was where Alex and the other astronauts did science experiments. They studied how plants grew in space, how fire behaved without gravity, and how living in space affected the human body. Every experiment was important because it helped scientists learn more about space and how humans could survive there for a long time. One day, Alex and his team had an exciting task. They had to go outside the space station. This was called a spacewalk. Alex had been training for this for years, but now it was finally time. He put on his space suit, which was big and heavy. It had a helmet with a glass visor, and he could hear his own breathing inside it. The suit was his life support. It had oxygen to breathe and protected him from the cold of space. When he was ready, Alex and Emma floated through a small airlock. The door opened, and suddenly, they were outside in the vastness of space. There was no sound at all, only silence. Below them was the Earth, a big blue ball, and above them, endless stars. Alex felt so small, but at the same time, he felt like he was part of something much bigger. Their job during the spacewalk was to fix a solar panel on the outside of the space station. The solar panels gave the station energy from the sun. If one broke, they would have no power. Slowly, Alex and Emma floated towards the panel. They were tied to the station with long ropes, so they wouldn't drift away. Alex worked carefully, using his tools to tighten screws and adjust wires. His hands were a little shaky because this was such an important job, but he stayed focused. After a few hours, the job was done, the solar panel was fixed, and the station was safe. Alex and Emma floated back to the airlock and went inside. Once they were back, Alex felt a huge sense of relief. It was hard work, but they had succeeded. Living in the space station wasn't always exciting. Sometimes, Alex felt lonely. He missed his family back on Earth. He could only talk to them through video calls, and the connection wasn't always good. He also missed simple things like going for a walk outside or feeling the wind on his face. In space, there was no weather, no fresh air, and no trees. But even though it was hard, Alex knew he was doing something important. He was part of a mission to explore space and help people learn more about the universe. He remembered why he became an astronaut in the first place, to see the stars up close and to discover new things. As the weeks passed, Alex and his team worked together every day. They laughed, shared stories, and supported each other. Even though they were far from home, they had each other, and that made life on the space station a little easier. One night, as Alex looked out of the window, he saw something beautiful. The Northern Lights, or aurora, were dancing in the sky above Earth. They were green and purple and moved like waves in the ocean. It was the most beautiful thing Alex had ever seen. In that moment, he felt grateful to be in space, living his dream. But space is full of surprises, and soon something happened that Alex and his team did not expect. Alex stared out of the window, mesmerized by the beauty of the Northern Lights dancing over Earth. It was a peaceful moment, but that peace didn't last long. A sudden alarm rang through the space station. Red lights flashed, and a voice over the intercom said, "Warning, debris field approaching. Impact in 20 minutes." Alex's heart raced. Space debris, pieces of old satellites or broken rockets, was dangerous. Even small bits could hit the space station at very high speeds, causing damage. He quickly floated to the control room, where the other astronauts were gathering. Captain Nadia was already there, her face serious. "We have to move the space station to avoid the debris," she said calmly. Hiro was typing fast on the computer, trying to calculate the best way to adjust the station's path. Alex watched as the screen showed the pieces of debris getting closer and closer. Time was running out. Emma, the engineer, checked the systems to make sure everything was working properly. "We need to fire the thrusters now," Hiro said, his voice steady but urgent. "If we don't move, we'll be hit." Captain Nadia gave the order, and Hero pressed a button. The space station's thrusters fired, pushing it gently to a new position. Everyone held their breath, watching the screen as the debris field passed by. For a moment, it looked like they would be safe. But then, a loud bang echoed through the station. One piece of debris had hit them. Impact detected, Emma shouted. "We've been hit on the side of the station." Checking for damage, Alex felt a knot of fear in his stomach. If the space station had been damaged badly, they could lose air, or worse, they could lose power. He floated to Emma's side to help her check the systems. "It's not good," Emma said after a few minutes. "We have a small hole in the outer wall. Air is leaking out slowly. We need to fix it quickly, or we'll lose oxygen." Captain Nadia nodded. "Alex, Emma, get your spacesuits. You'll need to do another spacewalk to patch the hole. Hero and I will monitor from inside." Alex's hands were shaking a little as he put on his spacesuit. He had done spacewalks before, but this one was different. The station's air supply was in danger, and if they didn't fix the hole, they could be in serious trouble. He glanced at Emma, who gave him a small, reassuring smile. "Ready?" she asked. Alex took a deep breath. "Ready." They floated through the airlock again and out into the cold darkness of space. This time, the stars didn't seem as peaceful. They could see the small piece of debris that had caused the damage, a twisted piece of metal, now stuck to the side of the station. Just a few meters away was the hole it had created. "We need to work fast," Emma said, her voice calm but serious. Alex nodded. He carefully floated over to the damaged part of the station, making sure he was tethered securely. Emma handed him a special patch designed to seal holes in the space station's outer wall. It was a thick, sticky material that could harden quickly when exposed to space. Alex pressed the patch over the hole and used a tool to smooth it down. For a moment, everything was quiet except for the sound of his own breathing inside his helmet. He worked as fast as he could, knowing that every second counted. The patch hardened, and the hole was sealed. "Great job, Alex," Emma said. "Now let's get back inside and check the air pressure." They floated back to the airlock and re-entered the space station. Hero was already checking the air levels. "Pressure is stabilizing," he said. "Looks like the patch is holding." Alex sighed with relief. They had fixed the problem, and for now, they were safe. But the incident reminded him just how dangerous space could be. There was no room for mistakes up here. Every small action mattered. The days passed, and the crew continued their work on the space station. They did more experiments, communicated with Earth, and maintained the station. But Alex couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. The hit from the debris had been small, but it had damaged more than just the outer wall. He noticed that some of the systems were acting strangely. One evening, as Alex floated near the window, looking out at the stars, Emma joined him. She seemed thoughtful. "Alex," she said quietly, "I've been thinking about the station's systems. Ever since the debris hit us, things haven't been quite right. Alex nodded. I've noticed that too. Do you think it's serious? I'm not sure, Emma said, but I think we need to do a full check. We might have missed something during the repair. The next morning, Alex and Emma told Captain Nadia their concerns. The captain agreed that a full check of the systems was a good idea. Hero helped them run diagnostics on every part of the space station: power, oxygen, temperature control, and communication. It took hours, but finally, they found the problem. The main power line was damaged during the debris hit, Hero explained. It's been slowly losing energy. If we don't fix it, we could lose power completely. Alex felt a chill run down his spine. Losing power meant no heat, no oxygen pumps, and no communication with Earth. They had to fix it fast. But fixing the main power line wasn't easy. It was located deep within the space station, behind panels and wires. Alex and Emma worked together, carefully taking apart the wall to reach the damaged section. As they worked, the temperature in the station began to drop. Without full power, the heaters couldn't keep up. We're running out of time, Captain Nadia warned over the intercom. You need to finish the repairs quickly, or we'll have to call for emergency help from Earth. Alex's hands were cold, and his breath came out in little puffs as the temperature continued to fall. He worked as fast as he could, but he had to be careful. One wrong move, and they could lose all power. Finally, after what felt like hours, Emma found the damaged wire. She handed Alex a new wire, and he carefully connected it to the power system. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, the lights flickered back to full brightness, and the heaters hummed to life. We did it, Emma said, a smile spreading across her face. Alex couldn't believe it. They had saved the space station from disaster. The warmth returned to the station, and the systems were back to normal. Captain Nadia and Hero joined them in the control room, relief clear on their faces. We were very close to losing everything, Captain Nadia said. But thanks to your hard work, we're safe. As the days went by, life on the space station returned to its usual routine. But Alex had learned an important lesson. Space was beautiful, but it was also unpredictable and dangerous. Every day brought new challenges, and the team had to work together to survive. One night, as Alex floated near the window, looking down at the Earth far below, he felt a deep sense of accomplishment. He had faced danger, worked with his team, and helped keep the space station safe. Living in space was hard, but it was also a dream come true. And as he gazed at the stars, he knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, he was ready for them. The end.